whether you want to or not. Show up. Sad, show up. Angry, show up. Just show up.
Right.
You'll move through that emotion.
I was just going to say, it will shift you.
Yeah.
It will absolutely 100% shift you.
And 99% of the time, it will shift you and fill you.
I'm just here to say you don't have to be in this high vibe state all the time in order to make money, in order to make sales, in order to launch the thing. This is where we get to work, yes, with our energy. Like there's a difference between like burnout and truly just, you know, not feeling good that day, but you know that you got to like make the post. You know, fear is loud.
Yeah.
Faith is a whisper. And fear sometimes can be in the driver's seat and take over. And the key is fear's going to be there.
Yeah.
You just can't let it take the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Let it sit in the passenger seat. Let it sit in the back seat. Like, okay, I know you're there, but you're not going to take over my thoughts.
Yeah. Welcome to Reignite with Reet. I am sitting here with this incredible woman here today, Felicia Romero. She is an 8-time, I want to say Olympian in my mind, Olympian, but she is an 8-time competitor, or how would you word it? Like
so
fitness model.
Fitness model, yes. Nine-time fitness cover model. Yeah, 9-time. And then competed in the Olympia, top 3 in the world a few times. So yeah.
But she's also an entrepreneur, an investor, a powerhouse woman, and an expander, a powerful group of women that make change and hold space for other women and encourage other women to just go for that big dream.
Yeah.
Just don't hold back, and also help the women that are coming up.
Yes.
That's what I feel like you have done for me. In the short time I've known you and I've started following you, and you really inspire me to show up. Show up in all the stages. Your story really inspired me to be like, age is nothing but a number. It's okay to go after our dreams and whatever form that may look like. So welcome, Felicia.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited, and thank you for that amazing intro.
I mean, I could go on and on, but I guess I'm like a little bit of content would be good in between there. But
okay.
you're a powerhouse. You've done so much. And then I listened to you in this weekend's panel as well. And you're also so humble. So much humility, and you share your vulnerabilities. And this weekend, you were so honest. I follow you, and I just love, I think there's power in following women that inspire you. Even if it's not something that, like, fitness is part of my journey, and a woman, being, you know, a new entrepreneur, and to women that have been doing it, and still they share their vulnerability of how you still feel scared, you still feel imposter syndrome, you have had like 15, 20 years of experience, and you were recently a panelist, keynote speaker at an event, a big event, and you shared in this weekend that you had a moment of imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think sometimes when we look at women online, and this is where I want to just give the woman who is comparing herself to other women online, or in maybe not even a negative way, just like, wow, she's up there, she's doing it. Like, I could never do that, but I want to. Like, there's that whisper. I want to just kind of like plant this thought in your brain, is that every woman is going through something, right? No matter how big or how big you see them, or how further ahead they are in business, it's just a different set of challenges, right? And so for me, I think sometimes I don't see myself the way that other women see me. And that's often reflected back to me by my girlfriends. And I don't know what it is. I think there's some trauma that happened in my 20s that I think I was afraid to show up and be seen. And it was based on a relationship that I was in, you know, where I was sort of like ridiculed for the things that I was wearing, you know, even just like being feminine, like maybe even showing like a little cleavage, a little leg, a little like the femininity and the power of a woman and the sexiness of what a woman can be. And just for me, you know, just for me, not for other men or, and I was ridiculed for that. And there was some trauma there, and I didn't realize it until I noticed that I started dimming my light. I started to, when I would get these opportunities, like, oh, all eyes on me, why me? And so, you know, when I get these opportunities, and a few recently where it really got me like kind of scared inside. Like, I don't know if I belong here. I think they made the wrong choice, even though I had all of the proof that they made the right choice. You know, on paper. And so I think it's normal to feel that, right? It's normal to feel that. But the thing is, you can't let it conquer you. Yeah. You can't let it take over. You know, fear is loud. Yeah. Faith is a whisper. And fear sometimes can be in the driver's seat and take over. And the key is fear is going to be there. Yeah. You just can't let it take the driver's seat. Yeah, let it sit in the passenger seat. Let it sit in the back seat. Like, okay, I know you're there, but you're not going to take over my thoughts. Yeah. And another thing that I shared on the panel for those that weren't at Powerhouse is the incredible tribe of women that I have in my life. I don't think we say it enough, like the friendships that are created in later life. Oh, right?
So powerful.
There's something powerful in that. Yeah. Like, give me, you know, let's talk about the woman that comes in your life when you're in your mid 30s, late 30s, or even now 40s. Yeah. That felt like they were there for a lifetime. Yeah. And that show you so much support, that we all lift each other up and they see your light. There's so much power in that. And I'm so lucky to have that incredible group of women, you know, that's changed and, you know, transpired, and some have fallen off, and some have stayed, and that's okay. Yeah. We're all on our own journey.
For sure.
But like, that is what gives me strength as well. So there is so much power in that.
Yeah. Well, as women, when we hold hands and build each other up, life becomes more joyful and fulfilling, and you feel what self-love and love from others, and you learn to receive. I think in my experience, it was something really challenging for me to receive. I loved giving. I love sharing and showing up for everybody in spaces, but I got that ick feeling when I was like, you know, get a compliment. Oh, thanks. No, you know? And I really, really, in the last year and a half, I've realized, oh, there was a gap and not a fair exchange between giving and receiving. Yeah. And it was my own doing, but it's a lack of awareness, you know? Yeah. And allowing yourself to receive women that are good for your soul. Yeah. Because we can push away, and we can also judge and say, what do they want from me? Yeah. And that comes from an insecurity. You know,
absolutely.
You must have felt that. In being in fitness and competition and
100%. I have totally felt that. I think for a lot of years I even thought like, oh my gosh, like I have to give more than I'm receiving because I want to prove myself. I need to prove my worth. I need to prove whatever it is I needed to prove. And so, you know, I get, this is why it's so important to have the women in your life that you really look up to that could be mirrors for you. And, you know, Lindsay Schwartz is that, or Lindsay Marie is that. And Lori Harder is that. So, you know, Lori Harder gave me such a valuable lesson when I was reaching out to her. I think it was like last year we did some podcasting, and I've been always wanting her as a dream guest on my podcast. And I was hosting a live podcast with my girlfriend Annette. And we've, you know, her and I have co-hosted a handful. We've now maybe like 4 or 5 under our belt. But we had always kept trying to get Lori. And every time I reached out, it was a no. And what I realized is the less that I take things personally, and that actually it's just maybe not a great day for her. Yeah. Or maybe she didn't respond because she's got a lot on her plate. Like this isn't a no forever. Right. Right. And so I think one thing that Lori really taught me was not only boundaries, but also like the power of like not giving up when you're reaching out to other women. Persistence and coming from love and alignment. And, you know, if it is aligned, Absolutely. You know, so I love those reflections back. But yeah, back to just, you know, women in friendships. I think it's important to, you know, yes, seek out those friendships. It's incredible. But I think my biggest lesson and the way that I was able to attract incredible women is I upgraded myself. The work on myself that I did actually changed my aura, my energy field in what I was emitting. So I stopped attracting the vampires.
Yeah.
I stopped attracting the men that were not going to commit to me. I stopped attracting the people that wanted to take and leech. Because my aura, my energy field was like untouchable. Like, ooh, like I'm not even in that space anymore to even have those people to have access to me.
Right.
And that's when those good people started coming around, where, you know, my partner came back into my life. My fiance was my high school sweetheart. I started attracting these upgraded, you know, friendships of women that weren't threatened by me or secretly wanted me to fail.
Right.
We were all wanting to grow together.
Yeah.
And, you know, it all started with me and how I showed up in the world.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Our
so
lives start and end with us. We are meant for community and a village, but if we don't do the inner work on ourselves, and we all need to at different degrees, different levels of wherever you are in your life.
Yeah.
And if you're not really loving and appreciating yourself and you're having a sense of self-worth, you are going to keep attracting that same lesson over and over until you learn it. And then you transcend and you're at a new frequency.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just move around through the world differently.
Yeah.
Right? You completely move around through the world differently. I love doing visualizations. I actually did this in my last live podcast event that I had the women, you know, how easy it is to change our energy by our thoughts, right? And something that's so powerful. I'm such a daydreamer. I love to just daydream. And what's incredible about daydreaming, and when you think about certain scenarios, like think about something that gets you really excited, right? You actually start feeling butterflies in your stomach, right? About the thing that's coming up. And equally as much, you know, fear can also show up in the same way, or anxiety can show up in the same way. And something that I love doing, especially with my clients who want to bring in more money, they want to scale their income, but they're maybe at this like up level, or this, I should say, you know, up level to where they can't quite get over that, right? And, you know, I love to put my clients through this visualization where I just, you know, you're walking down the street and imagine you get a call that you are going to get, you know, $5 million dropped into your account, but you have to wait 2 weeks, right? Now, if you were to really put yourself in that state, right? Really think, like, make it be real. The 5 million is coming, or whatever number feels really expansive for you. It's coming. It's going to be dropping in your bank account. How would you be over that next 2 weeks knowing that money was coming? It wasn't in your account yet, but you couldn't spend it. You couldn't give it away. You couldn't, bless people with that money, but you knew it was coming. You would be operating at such a high frequency. How excited would you be knowing that, wow, I'm going to buy my mom a house. And I am going to just open up this incredible business. I'm going to do that thing that I kept putting off, all because you know that money is coming. Yeah. Now, what if you really operated from that place? What if you knew that what you were doing was going to create this outcome, and you believed it so certainly that your vibration would operate from that place? I guarantee you, when you're walking through the world in that higher vibration, you are going to attract so much more.
Yeah.
Good opportunities are going to come your way. You're going to see proof in everything that you look for in your day of why life is good and why you're excited. And abundance can come in all different ways, not just money, but that's just an example. But you would be operating differently. So what if we just put ourselves there all the time?
Oh, you're walking with trust and faith.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of walk. You show up in the rooms differently.
You do.
You show up in your relationship. You are at more ease. You're not in fear, anxiety, fight or flight all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You're in a love and gratitude frequency because you know 100% everything's going to work out for you.
Yes. And you know, I'm not naive to the fact either, Reet, that there are people suffering.
Oh gosh,
I've had my car repossessed.
Yeah.
I've had $100 in my bank account thinking, how am I going to make my next month's payment? And like, I literally had my car repossessed. This was probably 11 years ago now, right in front of the gym that I owned. And my personal finances were struggling, even though like business. So I think this is where a lot of people get it wrong too. Like sometimes the business could be doing well, but personal finances, maybe not. Right. And so like, I really lacked that money mindset for my personal finances. And so like, I'm not naive to the fact that there are people who are just surviving, that maybe don't have the same time frames that I do, or, you know, access to certain things like maybe you and I or certain people. But I want to just tell you, like, you have a decision, you have a choice to think differently no matter the circumstance. Yep. Knowing, yes, maybe you're in that survival mode, but you have nothing to lose. Nope. What if you changed that mindset and it was something different for you? Life was different for you, despite the survival, despite the things that you may have to do right now, take on another job to make sure that the bills are paid. Right. I've had to do that too.
For sure.
My mom's had to do that. My mom at one point was working 3 jobs, but we still have control over our mind. Right. We may not have control over the external circumstance. Right. And that's where we have the power. So, yeah.
And I think we forget that it's a choice. A lot of times, even in my fight or flight days where I couldn't see the choice, it's happening to me. And then when I switched it to it's happening for me, those small shifts started to make me look for the answer inside, rather than external validation, rather than seeking for approval and trying to fit into boxes and molds that I was never meant to. Right? Once you start down that path of self-discovery, I think that's where what you're saying is mindset. It's that mindset is the daily practice.
Yeah.
It's not some biohack. It's a daily, moment by moment, day by day choice. Because even the strongest of mentally, emotionally intelligent people wake up and have a rough day, and they have to look in the mirror and say, I love you, I got this.
Yeah.
Or feel your feelings, let them out, let them release them, and how am I going to choose to move forward in this really challenging time?
Absolutely. For sure. And I love that you mentioned that. And that also brings up like duality in life. Duality exists all the time. You could have, you know, like yesterday, an incredible high, only to get messages like, oh, the air conditioning's out at the gym. We're going to have to bring it. You know, all of these things are happening that people need air conditioning. If we don't have air conditioning, we can't work out. This is Arizona. Yeah. And so like thinking fast, and I'm so grateful to have people and staff that support that, but you know, it's still putting a fire out. It's still duality. It's still like stress mode. Oop, and then a really awesome high from being on this panel and seeing all of these women and just the weekend. Right. Yeah. So like duality. Right. And I am also a believer, and I would love your thoughts on this as well, that you don't always have to be, because I think sometimes there's this like misconception online, especially when you start seeing these women that are like, do it when it feels good. Only do it when it feels good. Oh, you can only be this way if we're high vibe, you know. Real business owners like a Kim Perrell, for instance, who we got to speak to yesterday, I doubt she's waiting to feel good to make decisions. You know what I mean?
If you wait when you feel good, you're going to be on a roller coaster, because the chances are you're going to find more opportunities where you don't feel good and excuses.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just here to say you don't have to be in this high vibe state all the time in order to make money, in order to make sales, in order to launch the thing. This is where we get to work, with our energy. Like there's a difference between like burnout and truly just, you know, not feeling good that day, but you know that you got to like make the post. Kind of like Lindsay. You know, Lindsay was going through a really hard time last year. She still knew she wanted to show up for her podcast, batch the episodes, because that is the energy she had to put in for that time in order to take some space for herself.
For sure.
While not letting the business suffer. Like sometimes we just have to do what we need to do, right? And that's the duality of life.
That's a key example.
Yeah.
This weekend, I booked this prior knowing I was going to be at a 3-day event. Yeah. Been to many events in my life, and I know what generally happens after.
Yes, right.
Right? You're on a high and you're on a low. I was sharing earlier, there was a snake in my room last night.
Oh, wow. Like a literal snake?
A literal baby snake.
Okay.
I went back and I was just like, I'm on a high and I'm kind of integrating and I'm just kind of like after dinner having a little stillness. And there was a little baby snake in my room. And if I hadn't been doing like kind of like a lot of work on myself, 3 years ago, I'm deathly fearful of snakes.
Really? Okay.
And I purposely chose to go move past that fear. I have a daughter.
Yeah.
She loved going to zoo and she'd be fascinated with reptiles and it kept coming in my face. The universe was like, you're going to face yourself and you're going to face your fears. And we took a year-long trip around the world for 1 year. Wow. We went to every museum, every zoo. Where do you think there was not snake in every one of those places or a skeleton of something? I couldn't even look at the picture of snakes prior to that.
Really?
I forced myself and just say 3 seconds, just go look.
Yeah.
And I worked up to it.
Yeah.
So I can regulate my nervous system.
Right.
So last night I was like, holy, I don't know what that is. I don't know if like it looked odd, but I called the front desk and I was so proud of myself because I didn't freak out. I didn't like totally crumble. I saw my growth. And this is what's showing up. And today I could have been like exhausted and being like, oh gosh, there's a moment being like, oh God, I booked 4 hours of podcasts tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I also first thing I remembered was show up for yourself when you're tired. I think it was Lori Harder that said that. Whether you want to or not, show up. Sad, show up. Angry, show up. Just show up.
Right.
Because you'll move through that emotion.
I was just going to say, it will shift you.
Yeah.
It will absolutely 100% shift you.
And 99% of the time, it will shift you and fill you. And the people that were meant to show up that day are probably going to be exactly who you needed.
Yeah.
The words, we had tears
Yeah.
earlier in the first podcast today.
Yeah.
We had and it kind of, I needed to start that way.
Yeah.
Women don't realize there's strength in vulnerability, authenticity. It is the superpower that we don't tap into.
I know. There's so much power in it. And power in storytelling, right? There's just so much. Did you know, though, this year is the year of the snake?
Oh, I'm right into all of that. And what do you think first I did? ChatGPT. I'm like, what does it mean when a baby snake is in your hotel room?
I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, oh, wait, there's one owl. Oh, there's another owl. What does it mean when there's 2 owls on my roof? Like, what are the signs? Yeah, I am so that girl.
Me too.
I am the meme where, I don't know if you've seen this meme, where it's a meme of, I think it was like, when your son texts you asking, what time was I born, Mom? And the mom's like, run, or something like that, because it's the girl probably looking him up, putting his human design or his astrological sign and looking all about
the time you're
Give me exactly when you were born, what city you were born in. All the things. That's me
too.
That is me.
I remember I was asking my husband, I'm like, can you contact and check your birth certificate? Yeah. I need to know. This was we're 18 years in, but I'm just I need some more detail.
Yeah.
I need some guidance.
It's nice to know. So, yeah.
You know, I trust myself ultimately.
For sure.
But I do know that the Creator gave me this gift.
Yes.
And that it's in all of us.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm like, I don't care. I'll call me woo-woo, a freak. I'm all of those things.
Yeah.
And I own it proudly.
Same.
It's taken me 45 years to get here.
Same.
And I'm going to scream it from the rooftops because I want every other woman to know we're all freaks together.
We are. Yeah. I'm also I'll pull a card. I'll do some sage. I also believe in God. We can be all the things. You
Duality.
know what I mean? Yeah.
The Creator created it all.
Yeah.
If you believe there is absolutely not a single accident in this world, and the people that align, that are meant to be on your path, they come, and if you see it as an opportunity and the gift in it, even if you don't see eye to eye and you have a conflict, if you can turn that around, the quicker you can turn your brain and say, what is the lesson? And I'm not talking about emotional bypassing or not feeling your feelings or sweeping things under the rug. I'm saying, all right, let your body tell you what it's telling you. jealous, you're angry, you're feeling insecure, you're nervous, you're anxiety. Where does that feel in your body?
Yeah.
It's telling you. Then you get a choice after that.
Yeah.
And say, thanks for this gift. Like I talk to my brain, being like, thank you.
Yeah.
And I know I have some work to do on this.
Yes.
There's an insecurity that I felt threatened by this woman. I judged her because I'm judging myself. Or I'm seeing a lack in myself. Because ultimately, it has nothing to do with the other woman or you.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with me.
Yeah.
What I'm not owning, what I'm scared to step into, the lack I feel in my own life.
Thank your triggers.
Thank
Yes.
your triggers.
Thank you,
Oh,
triggers.
Felicia,
Yeah.
that is like truth bomb.
Yeah, it's not mine. I heard it somewhere. But thank you. Thank your triggers. They reveal so much.
Yeah. And I was saying earlier, I was like, you feel it to heal. Now it's going to be like, thank your triggers. Follow it by that.
Absolutely.
These things, like these phrases help me because in life is not easy. We were never promised easy. So whoever believes that, it's how you show up. You can choose ease. And I don't mean to, I'm not a faker. I don't always choose ease. Trust me. There is a lot of work still happening. I do have moments when my ego comes in.
Yeah.
And I purposely choose to fight with my partner where I could have walked away, but I had to put that extra little
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Well, our journey is not like, oh, well, I saged and I'm all clear. No, there's a new layer. Now I need to step into the woman that can own her truth without ripping her partner down or another woman down.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny you say that because I did similar. I think my true journey lesson on as I'm earth side has been relationships, and it really comes up like in my astrological, chart as well. And that's been a constant reminder for me is the partnership that I have and finding like I mentioned this yesterday on stage, but loving the chaos because I felt comfortable there. I didn't know what it was like just to like have an even keel relationship, unfortunately, for many years. And so I've had to like have that self-awareness that the chaos isn't healthy, actually, Felicia. It doesn't mean you don't have to like always be at odds. And I think I was so used to operating at those feelings, especially in my relationships, because it was so hard to like find a partner all those years that I truly felt safe with. And so, that's been a big lesson for me these last few years because it does affect all other aspects of my life.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've had a lot of work around that, having the self-awareness, pausing, not reacting quickly and also control and surrender. I can't control what my partner does. I can only control what I do, And so, and I either, I can either like stay in that and be okay with those certain things, or I can just like surrender and just know like my truth. And so like, that's been my journey. It's been the things that I've kind of had to learn over the last few years.
When you said those words yesterday, you create your own chaos, like you choose it. You held a mirror and I was like, oh, solar plexus.
Yeah.
I wrote it down because how many times that's been my truth. And I wrote it down because I was like, whoa, you're meant to be in that room to receive it when you're ready. And that was yesterday because being vulnerable is okay. It's been a theme lately where I'm creating my own chaos because I am desperately trying to kind of like up level this or come through this loop of this pattern and transcend it.
Yeah.
But I find myself, right? Because I haven't mastered the pause yet.
Yeah.
I'm triggered and I respond and react.
Yeah.
Not even respond, I react.
Yeah.
And it's just a reflection of my nervous system. And I got it tattooed, be still, this weekend because that was what's coming through in every like fiber of my body and being like, be still. That's all you need to do right now. You've strived, you can produce, we know you can do that. Your next level's waiting for you, but until you can pause and be still and master just that, you're going to keep spiraling in that same loop.
So true. So
and
true.
It was so powerful.
It's like and also like what you don't repair, you repeat, right? Yeah. And that was oh my gosh, that was so many years of my life. I just kept repeating the same cycle. And I was like, Felicia, like I finally woke up one day and like, I'm not happy. Why do I keep putting myself through these repetitive cycles? Something needs to change. Yeah. Kind of like the money story. Something needs to change. Relationship. Something needs to change. And so only you can do that.
Yep.
Only you can want to change, right? And be aware of that. I would say the first step to all of this, if you're listening and you're like, I hear all of this, but where do I even start? I think first of all is just being aware of your habits and what is actually keeping you stuck. Yeah. And what you realize when you start to kind of navigate through the things that are keeping you stuck, you're able to then peel back the layer of why. You know, you get to, and if you have to really listen to your body. If you notice that, you know, like you mentioned the solar plexus, I feel it a lot in my sacral. You know, if you notice that you're feeling these things in your body and maybe your partner, you know, said something or did something that takes you from 0 to 100, what is that trigger for you? What is that root cause of what he said? And for the most part, let's say he forgot to take out the trash. And I'm not a relationship coach by any means. So this is just stuff like I'm going through that I have gone through, but like the not taking out the trash or not doing the things that I've asked before. And he seems to just like not remember. And I think it's not the taking out the trash. It's not he forgot to do this thing. It's the really truly being heard and seen, right? Really knowing what my love language is. Like, man, I would just love this act of service. Like it goes so much deeper than the actual act. And this can like obviously like transpire in all different facets of your life, from like your career and how you show up in your business and your friendships. And so, you know, there's always like a deeper root thing there. Would you say your audience is more like entrepreneurial women or all type?
Between midlife, having shifts.
Yeah, shifts.
And
pivots.
Entrepreneurs.
Okay. Because
a lot of women changing.
Yeah.
They're awakening into their power. They're in the season of leaving corporate and coming into and owning themselves and sitting in the discomfort of that transition.
Okay. I love that. So, you know, maybe you're in that cycle right now, or maybe you're in that season of life where you know you're ready to take the next step. You're maybe, yes, ready to leave the job or leave a partner, or, you know, maybe you have a partner, you want to make it better. I think the first step is awareness and clarity around that thing. And then the second is get really clear on the things that are keeping you small. Because I always say, like, entrepreneurship is the biggest personal development lesson you will ever experience. Yeah. So we've heard it a few times on stage yesterday, but if you think you have stuff like good, start a business, because it will reveal so much. Yeah. So much. The fear to be seen, the validation, the external, you know, stuff that we desire, even the money. And so, you know, with all this to say, like, you know, all the lessons I've learned in my relationship and what I've had to be aware of are also things that I've had to learn inside my business, right? Because it reveals everything. The validation piece was a big piece for me, right? All the way down to childhood, you know, and from my dad leaving. And so, you know, the personal development work is a lifelong journey. Whenever you think you're like good, usually, you know, the next level will reveal another place where, I got some work to do. I remember joining this sales program. I thought it was sales. You know who Tracy O'Malley is? Yeah. Okay. So I was Tracy's program, and she marketed it. She did it with another woman. She marketed it as a sales program. I was going to learn how to sell. Like, sign me up for a tactical program. I want the strategy. Give me the 1, 2, 3. And it was that, yes. But the first half of the program, right when we get on the call, we start diving into inner child. And I was like, no. I had so much. I was so angry. So angry. Because this wasn't like an inexpensive program, right? Tracy's a legend. Yeah. Tracy's incredible. I should have known because she does so much with inner child, but it wasn't. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I've done all the work on inner child. I don't need this. But of course, you invest, and I'm a believer also, like the transaction, the investment is bigger than the transaction,
Yeah.
right? The money you pay is bigger than the transaction. It's a commitment to yourself, a promise to yourself. And I realized that after going through the program, that I still had a lot more inner child work to do. There was so much still there, and that correlates with sales, correlates
Direct.
with being seen, correlates in your relationships, correlates in how you lead a team, correlates in how you scale your business. It's all there.
It's funny you said that. I had the same conversation this weekend. There was a woman standing in front of me in line, and she was like, oh, I have a coach, and she wants me to be a sales coach. Mm-hmm. But I'm prefer mindset. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm like, then what's the issue? I was like, it's a direct correlation. If you don't have your mindset right, you are not going to close a deal. I was like, take your mindset work, rebrand it, rephrase it, and add another module. Simple.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's not simple, but I said, how many sales courses are inner child work, mindset? It's directly related. You can't do one without the other.
Exactly.
If you do not feel you're worthy of the money, you're not going to attract it. You're not bringing it into your life. You're going to repel it.
Absolutely.
And if you do not feel worthy of the clientele that you want, a higher level, you're not going to attract it because you don't believe, your body really doesn't believe it, and you can't fake it till you make it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly, why I think I love having Lindsay in my world, and why I signed up for even her retreats, expanders retreats, because it was a stretch for me as well. But it was a great reflection because I want to charge that. I want to call in women who are going to pay that price point to my retreats. And I was still playing small. And I mentioned it yesterday, like I was charging about a quarter of the price of what she charges for expanders. And that was even like, I wasn't showing up how I needed to show up to call in the woman that will pay that, whatever that investment is. And so like, that was a great reflection for me, but it's more than strategy.
Oh yeah.
It's a being. It's how you see yourself. It's how you show up in this world. It's the authority. It's how you show up on social media, the energy, it's how you show up in your life. And so she was just always a great reflection for me for that, because that's what I want. I would love to like host an expanders retreat or something similar like that, to where I could charge that price point and I could have, 20 to 30 women in the room and just create this, because I love curating events. But I needed that example for me. I needed that reflection for me. And it wasn't, because any strategy will work. What is the strategy for you that is the most aligned? It was how Lindsay was showing up. It's how she evolved. It's how she shifted. And I could see that.
Yeah.
Right. And that was such a great lesson for me, trigger for me, and mirror.
Yeah. We draw the women that are meant to be the triggers. And that's where you get to take a moment and be like, it's not about her. She's the gift that's coming to you to be the mirror to you. And that's why it was such a gift yesterday. I got so much like wisdom and awareness on I'm causing my own chaos. I see it, and I see where it's stunting my growth and my expansion. And the work I'm taking home, it's already started. The moment I had the awareness, I'm like, okay, that's step one. Step two is owning it and taking full radical responsibility for your life. That you're doing it, you're causing it, you're playing the game. And when you're ready to up level, you're not going to subscribe to that game anymore.
Exactly.
You're going to show up differently, and you're going to get the help if you need the help. Learn how to master your emotions and your intelligence of, what do I need to practice? Because it's a practice. Let's be honest. Like, nobody has it figured out. Not from the women I speak to, from all spectrums all over the world. Even doesn't matter if you're a millionaire, billionaire I've worked for. And the reason they're there is, though, they have mastered their emotions to a level where they're not going to be swayed. And they're not going to be taken like off guard because half of their employees quit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it does happen. Or their employees are going to go on strike, or they're like, okay, you do you.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure it out, because they have to.
Yeah. Absolutely. That reminded me that I remember hearing Lori Harder say, I think it was one of her live podcasts, when you're presented with an obstacle and it feels really heavy, feels really big. And you might have heard Lori say this before, but like, how do I take this problem and make it, you know, like if I were to present this problem to, I don't know, think of a billion, Jeff Bezos, what would he say to this problem? It wouldn't be a big deal for him, right? Because it's $1 billion. Is it $1 billion problem, right? And oftentimes we put such big force and like this energy behind what we're going through, and it may feel so heavy at the time. But if we just reframe and just look at it differently, you know, and this is why I think, you know, she had gone to Kim, and Kim was like, yeah, just do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like so nonchalant for her.
Asking for help.
And asking for help. And so I think, you know, the problems in our head feel a lot bigger. And this is where you get to like reach out to those that are a little further ahead of you. And then you become and you realize like, oh, they're presented with these problems all the time. Like, I can handle this. Like, I'm good. You know what I mean? And you can get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also been a parenting style for me, and something I really double down on. I remind my daughter, wherever you think the problem lies, also lies the solution. So if you're the problem, you're the solution. The antidote is always within the vicinity of the venom or whatever the issue
Isn't
is.
that nature too?
That's nature.
Right?
So
Like,
if you got bit, chances are there's a plant nearby
like a plant. Yeah.
to,
To heal it.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. I love that. It's so fun.
yeah. So recently, I'm just going to pivot a little bit, because you've not acquired, but you've purchased, you're a franchise owner of a new gym.
Yeah. Yes.
Om
Fitness. Yes. I have it right here.
Om Fitness. And
Fitness.
you've owned gyms in the past, and you've sold them.
Yes.
What made you in this season want to reinvest into a gym? Fitness is your life.
I love
I mean,
fitness.
it's a part of your life. Really
It is.
important.
Yes. So, do you ever have those like feelings? Gosh, I wish I knew back then what I know now. That was a big lesson for me this last year, because I got presented with this opportunity, and I've owned gyms before. I've owned gyms for 15 years. So I opened up my first gym in early 2000. I'll kind of rewind a little bit to give everyone context. So I was going to college. I played ASU softball at ASU. I love sports. And throughout that time, my mom, I grew up in a single family home, eldest daughter. And I remember my mom telling me at 14, Felicia, you have to go to college. There's like a non-negotiable. You're going to be the first to go to college in our family. And that's a big deal. But we can't afford it because my mom's a single mom, right? So you're going to have to get an athletic scholarship or academic scholarship, but we have to find some way to get this paid for, right? So I just dove into sports, and I got good grades. Like I excelled. I'm eldest daughter, like very type A. So I would go after the A's. And so in college, when I was studying law, I was going to go to law school. I knew in my heart that that's not what I wanted to do. And it was what my mom wanted me to do, because on paper, she saw that as successful, right? My daughter, the lawyer, my daughter, the doctor, and so, but I knew that's not what I wanted to do. And during that time, I actually started training people out of my garage, because I'd moved out when I was 19, and I loved it. It's part of me, coaching and mentoring and helping people. I didn't know where it was going to take me. And this is the power of not knowing. When you follow your passion. Now, not every passion is going to turn into something that you can make money from, and nor should it be, but this one was. And I opened up my first gym in my early 20s, so took it out of the garage into a storefront, and then from early 2000s up to about 2015, I owned gyms, selling my last gym in early 2018. And so during that time, I had no entrepreneurial experience. I was risk averse. If you know human design, I'm, a 3-5 on the profile. Like, I take risk, not really thinking about what could happen. I also don't get stuck in the failures. So failure doesn't really affect me. I just move on. I do it better, or I pivot, or I shift. So I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know how to delegate. I didn't know how to manage, even though through those gyms, I had teams, I had managers, I got really burnt out. Like I had a hard time asking for help, like you mentioned earlier. And so I just burned myself into the ground, selling my last gym in 2018, just so ready to get out of the brick and mortar space. So fast forward to now, after 8 years of personal development, working on myself, inner child healing, going into like high expander masterminds and networks and all of these things, and learning so much that I was, when I was presented with this opportunity late last year, well, at first they had hired me as a consultant because that's what I do as well. So that's kind of, I would say, my primary income beyond corporate wellness is I've built such a great name for myself, Reet, that I don't really need to advertise for it. A lot of the opportunities I get are from people I meet or from referral or the network that I've built. And so a lot of my work comes from consulting, big healthcare companies like a Plexus or a Fit Body Boot Camp, which I was consulting with for about a year. And so those were a lot of my big sales that would come from for the last few years. And so, when I got presented with this opportunity, they first hired me as a consultant to turn the gym around. And it did so well that they were like, Felicia, we would love to partner with you. Like, we want you to be a partner, franchise partner. What could this look like? After we figured out all of the operating agreement and what the ownership profit looks like and all of that, we came up with a deal, and I said yes. And it looks so much different than how I operated in the past. I have a manager, a full team that helps, and that is, I'm able to like lean on, but I don't have to be there every day.
You're delegating.
Which is
you
really,
trust.
I trust. And it is so magical where I can physically like go and do my thing. I can speak at events. I can bring in high level people. I can think about it on a larger scale and still help grow the gym, right? And without having to like work all the shifts, teach the classes, all the things. Like, I don't have to do any of that.
The social media, all of the things.
And it's so great. And so again, back to, I wish I knew now, back then what I know now, I don't feel burnt out. I can still do the things that I love. And yes, priority and bringing in clients and members for the gym and increasing revenue is a big goal of mine, and it's happening. But I don't have to burn myself into the ground to do it. So that feels really good.
That's just a reflection of the work you've done. You're not repeating cycles. You're breaking and you transform and transmute yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why it's okay. It's not triggering.
Yeah.
Many people would never repeat that. I made that mistake.
Yeah.
No, you're coming at it with a fresh set of eyes, lenses of being like, no, I got this.
Yeah.
I've always had it. I just didn't know the skills, what I didn't know back then.
Exactly. And I also want to mention too that I'm not too good to clean the bathroom. I'm not too good to go in and like, oh, I see a smudge on the mirror. I'm not like, hey, Courtney, go clean that. Like, I just pick up the rug and I go wipe it. Like, I can do those things.
I appreciate that you just said that.
Yeah.
Because how many times I have gone to a gym and the owner's in an office or the manager's even in an office and they delegate that out. And I think that's something I also embody, being like, as an entrepreneur, I don't have to master everything, but I want to be able to do everything.
Yeah.
And I'm not too good for it. So
absolutely.
if my staff or somebody needs help, I'm going to show up.
Yeah, for sure. They know they can like reach out. We have a group chat. Usually I'm like the last resort, but if someone needs coverage on a Saturday morning, call me. Like I'll show up for you. We had Mother's Day. All of the women that work the front desk are mothers. I don't have my own children. I'm so grateful that I have a bonus child, but I don't physically have, and he was going to be with his mom that day, obviously. So I'm like, yeah, enjoy Mother's Day. I got you. You know what I mean? So like, I'm also like, I want to be able to do everything. Like I can cover a shift. I know how to work the computer. I know how to like do the sales. I know all the ins and outs, which I should know, right?
Yeah.
But, I'm not too good for that. Like I can do that too. If someone needed help.
It just shows your expansion, and you also draw the kind of clients and members for your gym that you want.
Yeah.
Not the drama members that bring the drama. You get the connection, and you're building a community.
For sure.
Which makes it easier on your staff and for everybody. The ripple effect is pretty incredible.
I love that. So good.
So what else do we see in your future? Like, I know you're a busy woman. You coach. You also coach women how to start a podcast.
I do. Yeah.
It was an integral part of me starting. I know I kind of took a different route, but you kind of got my momentum. And I loved that about you, that you offered, you answer your DMs like you're not too good. You don't think you're on a pedestal. I asked you, I reached out for some questions, and it was so easy. I never felt imposter, like, oh my God, like she's so much further ahead or anything. You just want to help genuinely.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I could offer any like support to women, and even if they don't end up hiring me, like that's okay too. You know, like you just said, just that spark sometimes, that catalyst, that's all you need. Maybe it's a conversation. Maybe it's that like quote you heard or whatever it may be. But yeah, I love helping women start their podcast. I've had a podcast now for over 7 years, and it's so fun. It's one of the most rewarding platforms that I have. I actually have a client that's launching her podcast this week, and we executed in 3 weeks, where it's created, everything's done. She even launched the podcast launch party. It's full. Like, she got 30 women in less than a week to get in there and get in the room. So it's so much fun. And I also, I'm going to start back up I have 6-figure circle retreats that I do at my home that I love. So intimate. I kind of intertwine the feminine and the masculine energy. My main focus right now is obviously OM and really growing that, but I love the interactions and connections that I get to have with women with other things that I do. And I'm very much creator. I love creating. I love creating new programs, new offerings, new events. I have an event coming up this Saturday that sold out. It's a live podcast event with Jillian Murphy. And we're going to be doing a floating sound bath in my pool in my backyard with a sound healer. And then, Steph's going to be doing all the filming. So like, I just love that. Yeah. I love the intimate. I love the bringing people into my home. Like, I love that. It's part of, I think, my way to also give and like be vulnerable. Cause I hadn't always had that,
no.
I live in my dream home. I love it. But not so long ago, I was getting my car repossessed, thinking, how am I going to make all my, bills for the next month? Like, I remember just being in those situations where I just so desperately wanted a different life. I wanted it to be different. I wanted to call in abundance. I wanted to call in the friendships, and back to like, I had to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
I needed to change myself. Yeah. And it did. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful that I put in the work. And if you're listening right now and, you feel in that season of just like, I'm stuck and I want that life. I want to be seen. I want to create more abundance. I want to create more money. Like, really look inside yourself. What could you do today, this week, that is not only going to put you in that situation or that environment that will allow you to move forward? Because like you said, you were at Mapawana's event and you had a little catalyst for this podcast. Like, that's powerful. That could be a ripple effect into what this podcast can bring for so many women. If you're listening to this right now, sometimes we just need that spark. Yeah. Sign up for an event. Be in the room, or start reading a book or listening to a podcast. It's going to change your environment and your energy to where it feels optimistic. Yeah. You feel so good about what your future can be, while still being so grateful for where you are now, because I guarantee you, for some women listening, probably a lot of women, you maybe think about a year ago or 2 years ago, and you can think about how far you've come, because we forget. We
need to celebrate.
Celebrate that, right? Celebrate how far you've come, because we forget.
And you're the one who put the seed in my heart and said, you're having podcasts? Have a launch party. And I had like the best launch party, which
so fun,
created the momentum, and I felt so loved and supported. And that's the frequency and vibration I put back in. And I set the intention that I'm doing this, it's coming through me, but it's not about me. It's about 10 million women, whatever the creator wants to build of this, and to teach me along the way and stretch me and grow me. And that's like women like yourself.
Yeah.
You keep showing up and you encourage other women to like, let's grow the tribe.
Yeah.
And you can do it too. So, oh, Felicia, this was so good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of that and encouraging other women, just even if it's one small step.
Yeah. One small step. That's it. And it usually has to be one small step. I'm sorry to tell you. I know we want to be there. I know we want to see the top of the staircase. Yeah. I know that but honestly, there's magic in, actually, there is magic when you leave room for magic. Yeah. So not knowing what's at the top of the staircase or what's on top of the mountain, because the actual journey to get there is where you're built, right? That is where you are built. Like, I know, for many of us, we want the thing now. And gosh, who did I hear? I think Angie Lee. She's incredible. She's this podcaster. She created a product. And I remember her saying, like, I just wanted 500 people in the room now, right? And she's like, I am so grateful that God did not give me that right away, because I would not have been able to even know what to say to 500 people in the room.
Capacity.
I needed to actually start with 5 people in the room, then 50, then 100 as it grew, because I grew, right? So like, for many of you who are asking or wanting the thing now, actually, you may not be able to hold that space yet, because you're not yet the woman that you need to be in order to do it. So be thankful for the journey. The journey is where you're built.
Absolutely. Oh, that was powerful.
Yeah, that was so good.
If the women listening want to work with you, want to start a podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I have an incredible program called the Podcast Portal. It's a one-on-one program. I definitely want to do like an in-person live event as well, like a one-day workshop kind of thing. But as of now, you can work with me one-on-one. Podcast Portal. I hang out over at Instagram. So at Felicia Romero, just my first and last name. I do respond to DMs. It is me. And my website, FeliciaRomero.com. And then I have a podcast called the Hi Felicia Podcast.
And it's epic.
Thank you. And if you listen, my ask, I know we're doing some bold asks this whole weekend. I would love a rate and review. My goal is 300 reviews by the end of the year. And I'm at 253, I think. So I'm almost there.
All right.
300 reviews by the end of the year is my goal.
Call to action. Let's do it, ladies. We're going to bring you to 300.
Yay.
And we can only do that together.
Yes. Thank you.
So thank you for coming on. I'm so grateful.